Hello everyone, welcome to Vaso-Meditech HealYourHeart EECP Treatment Center. Today we are going to discuss about food. Basically, we need energy to live. This energy has to come from somewhere, and where it comes, it's called food. So the food we intake gives us energy to live. So it is very important to find out what type of food we take to get this energy. The food is also what we take can be categorized into two simple categories. One is a bad food and maybe one is a good food. Surprisingly, now the data from UK shows almost 50% of the energy the people derive from the food is actually a bad food, not a good one. Similarly, in US, it is about 60 to 70% of the energy or the food they intake, actually the energy comes from the bad food. This is very surprising because if you are taking your energy from a bad eating habit or a bad food, then it is definitely going to increase your risk of heart disease and stroke. So to understand what is food, we need to broadly categorize the food into four categories. The first is called unprocessed or minimally processed food. So this is a food which naturally occurs. So your fruits, your vegetables, your milk, your nuts, your seeds, these are all naturally occurring and they are called unprocessed or minimally processed food. The second category of food is called the processed ingredient. So this processed ingredient example are sugar, salt and oil. Now these are all the ingredients which cannot be consumed directly, but it has to be added to another food to make it edible and eat. Now the third category is called processed food. The processed food is nothing. When you have this ingredient added to the unprocessed food, you got the processed food. So the example for processed food are your jam, your pickle, your tinned fruit, tinned vegetable, cheese and homemade bread. The fourth one is called ultra processed food. The ultra processed food is not seen in your kitchen. It is usually seen in the supermarket. The reason is once it is in the supermarket, it has to be there for a long period or all called long shelf period. To do that, lot of ingredient is added. Number one is preservative. Some of the preservatives are added to the food to make it be longer shelf life. And second is flavor. Some flavor is added so you get a good smell and good taste. And then sweeteners are added so that it becomes tastier. And then emulsifiers are added to make it little bit soft. So all these things make this food as a ultra processed food. Some of the examples for ultra processed food are your carbonated drinks, colas, or your alcoholic drinks, and then your chips, your bread, and also your ice cream and biscuits. These are all ultra processed food. So when it comes to the category which is the best food, the first one, unprocessed or minimally processed food, is the best food you should take. And second is an ingredient, which is a processed ingredient, your salt, your sugar and oil. So choose less salt, less sugar and a good oil to make it your food better. And the third one is a processed food. So here you have to be very clear because the processed food also mildly increase your risk, but it can be taken on and off. It should not be stopped. But the fourth one, ultra processed, is a very dangerous food. It can be taken only very occasionally, not as a regular diet. If you are depending, your energy comes from this ultra processed food, then this is what it's called a bad food. This can actually increase your risk of heart disease. Recently, there was a study which is published in Lancet in September issue. It's very interesting because it has took almost 22 cohorts of different studies, put them all together. It's almost millions or almost close to 2 million participants, and they are followed up. And they found out this ultra processed food increase the risk of coronary artery disease or blockage in your blood vessel to up to 23%, and it also slightly increase your stroke up to 9%. So all we have to learn is ultra processed food which is found in the supermarket, which has a high multiple ingredient. We have to be very careful.